English to Gujarati business connectors, with regard to, in favor of, and.
ના સંદર્ભમાં.
Welcome to the very serious meeting that is not serious. Hey, you are about to learn formal Gujarati without falling asleep on a stack of office papers. Yes, this is a miracle. Welcome, brave learner. Today you will meet a group of extremely formal phrases that sound like they wear glasses, carry folders, and say things like, let us revisit this issue after tea. You will learn how to say, with regard to, as.
ના સંદર્ભમાં.
And also.
ના સંબંધમાં.
You will hear, in the context of, as.
ના સંદર્ભમાં.
Within the scope of, as.
ના ઇનમાં.
On the basis of, as.
ના આધારે.
In favor of, as.
ના પક્ષમાં.
At the expense of, as.
ના ભોગે.
And, in the course of, as.
દરમિયાન.
If these sound formal, good. That means they are doing their job. Your mission today. You do not need a tie, a briefcase, or a dramatic PowerPoint transition. You just need your ears and maybe a sense of humor. Your first mission is to notice that English formal connectors often point to relationships between ideas. Gujarati does this beautifully too. When you want to say, with regard to the budget, you can say.
બજેટના સંદર્ભમાં.
You can also say, with regard to the budget, as.
બજેટના સંબંધમાં.
Same formal vibe, slightly different wording. If you mean, in the context of education, say.
શિક્ષણના સંદર્ભમાં.
If something is, within the scope of the project, say.
પ્રોજેક્ટના ઇનમાં.
If a decision is made, on the basis of the report, say.
અહેવાલના આધારે.
If you are, in favor of the new plan, say.
નવી યોજનાના પક્ષમાં.
If profit comes, at the expense of health, say.
આરોગ્યના ભોગે.
If something happens, in the course of the meeting, say.
મીટિંગ દરમિયાન.
A tiny story with giant formal energy. Listen to this little office drama. Nobody throws a chair, but emotionally, several chairs are thrown. On Monday morning, a manager entered the meeting room with the expression of a man who had seen 17 emails beginning with, just a quick question. He said.
પ્રોજેક્ટના સંદર્ભમાં.
We need clarity. Everyone nodded because nobody wanted to admit they were not clear. Then the lawyer added.
કરારના સંબંધમાં.
We must be careful. The professor in the corner, who had somehow appeared without invitation, whispered, everything depends.
પરિસ્થિતિના સંદર્ભમાં.
Quote. Very helpful, professor. Very mysterious. Later, the team decided.
અહેવાલના આધારે.
To continue the plan. Half the room spoke.
નવી યોજનાના પક્ષમાં.
While one exhausted employee warned, please, not.
આરોગ્યના ભોગે.
Quote. In the end.
મીટિંગ દરમિયાન.
Everyone learned two things. Formal Gujarati is useful, and free biscuits disappear faster than logic. Forms and meanings. Now let us slow down and look at each phrase like language detectives with very shiny magnifying glasses. With regard to, can be.
ના સંદર્ભમાં.
Example.
તમારા વિચારના સંદર્ભમાં હું સહમત છું.
That means, with regard to your idea, I agree. With regard to, can also be.
ના સંબંધમાં.
Example.
તમારા ઇમેઇલના સંબંધમાં હું કાલે જવાબ આપીશ.
In the context of, is also.
ના સંદર્ભમાં.
Example.
ઇતિહાસના સંદર્ભમાં.
Means, in the context of history. Within the scope of, is.
ના ઇનમાં.
Think of a big circle around what is included. On the basis of, is.
ના આધારે.
Think foundation, evidence, support. In favor of, is.
ના પક્ષમાં.
You are on one side, cheering politely. At the expense of, is.
ના ભોગે.
Oof. Something was gained, but something else suffered. In the course of, is.
દરમિયાન.
It stretches across time, like a meeting that should have been an email. Mini dialogues you can actually use. Let us make these phrases talk. Language learns best when it gets a little dramatic. A. With regard to the project, what changed? B.
પ્રોજેક્ટના સંદર્ભમાં.
The deadline moved. A. Do we have notes with regard to the meeting? B. Yes.
મીટિંગના સંબંધમાં.
Everything is ready. A. How should we understand this law? B.
કાયદાના સંદર્ભમાં.
A. Is training included? B. Yes, it is.
કરારના એનમાં.
A. Why was the decision made? B.
આ પુરાવાના આધારે.
A. Which side are you on? B. I am.
આ વિચારના પક્ષમાં.
A. Was the cheap option worth it? B. Not if it came.
ગુણવત્તાના ભોગે.
A. When did the plan change? B.
મીટિંગ દરમિયાન.
Right after the coffee disappeared. Memory tricks for busy brains. If your brain likes pictures more than grammar charts, excellent. Mine also prefers cinema. 4.
ના સંદર્ભમાં.
Imagine a spotlight shining on one topic. Everything else fades out. 4.
ના સંબંધમાં.
Imagine papers connected with a chain. Relation, connection, topic. 4.
ના એનમાં.
Draw a huge circle in your mind. If it is inside the circle, it belongs. 4.
ના આધારે.
Imagine a building standing on a foundation of evidence. 4.
ના પક્ષમાં.
See yourself stepping to one side in a debate and holding a supportive sign. 4.
ના ભોગે.
Picture a scale. One side goes up only because the other side goes down. 4.
દરમિયાન.
Imagine a ribbon stretching from the start of an event to the end. Quick drill time. You answer in your head, out loud, or with the confidence of a person talking to a toaster. All are acceptable. How do you say, with regard to, in Gujarati?
ના સંદર્ભમાં.
Or,
ના સંબંધમાં.
how do you say, in the context of education?
શિક્ષણના સંદર્ભમાં.
How do you say, within the scope of the project?
પ્રોજેક્ટના એનમાં.
How do you say, on the basis of the report?
અહેવાલના આધારે.
How do you say, in favor of change?
બદલાવના પક્ષમાં.
How do you say, at the expense of health?
આરોગ્યના ભોગે.
How do you say, during the investigation?
તપાસ દરમિયાન.
The formal office of slight chaos. Now for one more funny scene, because vocabulary sticks better when people behave strangely. A parrot in a suit flew into a conference room and landed on the projector. It refused to speak casually. Every sentence began with,
ના સંદર્ભમાં.
or.
ના સંબંધમાં.
The manager asked, "Are you in favor of the proposal?" The parrot shouted.
પ્રસ્તાવના પક્ષમાં.
Then the accountant asked whether a luxury coffee machine was necessary. The parrot replied, "Not."
બજેટના ભોગે.
Exclamation mark quote. Sensible bird. Later.
ચર્ચા દરમિયાન.
The parrot approved training.
કરારના એનમાં.
And final decisions.
પુરાવાના આધારે.
Nobody knew who invited the parrot, but everyone agreed it had excellent business Gujarati. Challenge round. You are ready. Time to level up and sound like a calm expert in a room full of confused people. Say, with regard to safety, we must be careful.
સુરક્ષાના સંદર્ભમાં આપણે સાવચેત રહેવું જોઈએ.
Say, with regard to your request.
તમારી વિનંતીના સંબંધમાં.
Say, in the context of history.
ઇતિહાસના સંદર્ભમાં.
Say, this is not within the scope of our discussion.
આ અમારી ચર્ચાના એનમાં નથી.
Say, on the basis of this evidence.
આ પુરાવાના આધારે.
Say, many people are in favor of change.
ઘણા લોકો બદલાવના પક્ષમાં છે.
Say, do not work at the expense of your health.
તમારા આરોગ્યના ભોગે કામ ન કરો.
Say, in the course of the year, she learned a lot.
વર્ષ દરમિયાન તેણીએ ઘણું શીખ્યું.
Friendly conclusion. You did it. You survived the formal connector jungle, and honestly, you looked impressive doing it. Today you practiced elegant Gujarati phrases for formal English ideas.
ના સંદર્ભમાં. ના સંબંધમાં. ના એનમાં. ના આધારે. ના પક્ષમાં. ના ભોગે.
And.
દરમિયાન.
Thank you for learning with me. Keep practicing, repeat the phrases aloud, use them in your own sentences, and come back tomorrow so your brain says, "Ah yes, I am now annoyingly good at formal Gujarati."